Okay, now vacuum depends on a good short sleeve plunger tip interaction. So all we know that the porosity cause more rejected casting than any other reason in die casting system. So the vacuum can only be created in completely enclosed space. We all know that in a cold chamber die casting of light metal because of the turbulence of the alloy, as it is poured at a high pressure into the die cavity, and the complex shape of many casting mold, air and other gases are often trapped in the metal. This is of course result in a porosity in the some part of the casting. If the casting is to be chrome painted or powder coated, or if any part of the casting is very thin, any air or gas inclusion usually result in rejection. Porosity also affect the mechanical property of the product in a structural application. Porosity can act as a stress contractor and therefore create a site where cracks may occur. So these are the side effects if the porosity may take place in a casting, in your casting. So we are here not talk about the porosity correction. We are here to make the relation between the porosity and the short sleeve and the your short plunger tip. Okay, so an additional problem in the fact that porosity in casting may not always be immediately apparent. If the discovered after subsequent processing, customer dissatisfaction can be extreme. So porosity in the casting can be almost completely eliminated by an efficient vacuum system. Almost not completely, almost completely eliminated by an efficient vacuum system. It is only can possible when you are able to make a good vacuum system in your die casting system. And this only can possible if you are using good plunger short sleeve system. So before the injection shot occurs, a vacuum is blown in both the short sleeve and the mold cavity. The vacuum is maintained until the injection cycle is completed. Almost all of air is positively activated from the mold. A good vacuum in a mold cavity enables the alloy to flow into blind resins in the complex shape. It is the people think the vacuum system only can help to make a porosity casting. So it's not a completely true. It helps to make a good surface casting. If you require a good flow system in your casting, the vacuum will also help to make this happen. Adding a vacuum system to the operating process benefits a die caster in several ways. First, it reduces his rate of rejection, of course. Second, by lensing the force required on the plunger, it increases the life of almost all component die casting machine. We required less force, less pressure, less velocity to push the metal into cavity if you are able or you are maintaining your good vacuum system in your die casting process. It will help to increase your almost all component of die casting machine, but most importantly today by allowing the die caster to produce thinner, strong and more complex casting. This is a very true and this is a very important to the die caster to understand. If you want to make a very thin casting with strength, with good strength, you must use your vacuum. You have to maintain a good vacuum in your diagnostic system between the short sleeve and the your cavity. It makes it possible for him to participate in a fast growing market sector to which he would otherwise be denied. Okay, so vacuum, it is the obvious fact that a vacuum can only be created in a completely enclosed space. This makes the seal between the plunger tip and the short sleeve critical to vacuum assisted die casting. The gap between the plunger tip and the wall of the short sleeve is necessarily very small. If at any time during the return stroke of the plunger it becomes too great, air is likely to be sucked through the gap. Also, during the injection, the metal may penetrate the gap. If alloy then collect on the plunger tip, rapid deterioration of the vacuum seal will result as the tip becomes galled and the sleeve becomes soldered. If close control of this tip sleeve gap is lost, a good vacuum can be easily destroyed in less than thousands shots.